Hello and welcome back to VMTV. My name is Kyle Diamond. My guest for this episode is Mr. Thad Jean, who is one of the announced competitors in the PFL Challenger Series, which gets underway at the start of 2023. My voice doesn't sound great because it's the festive season, and I, of course, have a cold because I live in the UK, and that's how that works. We spoke to Thad all about his signing with the PFL, the promotion that the company has given him, the format of the Challenger Series, and a certain seal of approval that he got from a UFC and combat sports legend. So yeah, without further ado, Mr. Thad Jean. I wanted to start by I was having a scroll through your social medias earlier just to see like what you had posted about the announcement, and I saw that video of Ray Sefo calling you to tell you that you were in the Challenger Series, which is great.
Yeah, super cool.
How did you react to that? Because it seems like they've done it with a few of the guys for the tournament, but it seems like they're properly getting behind you and promoting you ahead of the Challenger Series, which is cool to see.
I think they know what they're doing. But it's super. It's how should I say? It satisfies you in a way because it's like self feeling that all the things that you're doing is hitting all the right people at the right levels, and for the owner of PFL Race to hit me up directly, call my phone, and FaceTime me and personally tell me that I made it into the Challenger Series. It was like, I just wanted like thank God. You know what I mean? It's like such an awesome feeling. Such an awesome feeling. It was awesome. I should just say that.
When did you first learn about the PFL potentially being interested in you and stuff? And what was your initial reaction?
It was probably a couple months ago. It was right before my previous fight. Like right after LFA, right after the knockout at LFA, my manager told me, "Hey, that knockout." I think it was before actually. He was like, "This fight, the PFL was looking at me," and I was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "Oh, it's like that." Put him. I was like, "I got to take this guy. I got to make a statement." And sure enough, I did make a statement in that fight, and it was, it was awesome. And then, I couldn't get a fight for a while, and I was like, "Man, I need to fight. I need to fight again." And, as a fighter, you get jittery as you don't fight, and you just need the experience, especially going to such a high level like PFL. I just wanted to make sure I had enough experience under my belt, so when I went in there, it's not no surprise or anything. And this last opponent at Combate was a really good fighter. He was 2-0, but his amateur career, he had a really good record in his amateur career, and I was the first one to ever beat him. And just, there was a bunch of banter at the weigh-ins and everything, but PFL, I asked PFL, my manager asked PFL, "Hey, can he take this fight?" Because, they were still looking at me, and I don't know if they wanted me to fight or not, make sure I don't mess up my record or anything like that. But I was like, you know what? Taking the fight regardless because no one's going to mess up my record. I'm not going to let no one come through and just take my zero from me. So went through and had a really good fight. It was the only fight I actually went to distance with, and which is also a great experience because I haven't gone distance yet, and I don't want my first time going to distance in PFL. You know what I mean? So it was good. It was great.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed about when I was going through your record is that you've already got like LFA and Combate on there and then into the PFL. So despite the fact that you've only got the 4 professional fights, you fought in like some of the top promotions already.
Yeah.
Which obviously is great for then going into the PFL. What do you make of the Challenger Series format? Because I feel like it gets better every year. Like the level of competition seems to go up.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I think PFL is starting to get more recognition now as being as a better promotion in terms of people who actually just want to fight and get recognized as a fighter instead of a fighter that wants to get recognized and being popular or something. Oh, I have a name behind me. I have brands behind me. I can't, unless you have that, you can't make money in other promotions. But you can go from being a no one to making $1 million potentially in the PFL. And I think everyone wants to, people who are just getting into fighting or have been in fighting for a long time, who've been in the UFC forever, but never touched $1 million, wants to see what PFL is talking about. You know what I mean?
I think a great example of that is actually a guy that you've fought and beaten before, Delano Taylor, who is probably the best advert for the Challenger Series that PFL have got. Obviously, he was in it last season and then goes on to make it all the way to the finals as an alternate.
Yeah, exactly.
So there must be a little bit of like the MMA math doesn't work. Everyone knows that. But when I scrolled through your record and saw that amateur win there, I was like, okay, like that, you can't do MMA math and be like, well, he beat Delano and Delano made it to there. But that must give you confidence to see what he was able to
Oh
accomplish.
yeah, it gives me amazing confidence. But I'm not. It gives me great confidence. I shouldn't say anything other than it gives me great confidence. But I don't want to, you know, ride my victory off of Delano Taylor in my amateur career for that to be what stays in my mind, because I don't want to be full of myself. I don't want to get humbled by someone knocking me out because I'm thinking, oh, Delano Taylor made it to the final. I can make it to the final just cruising through here. I'm gonna try to make a statement every single fight, even despite beating Delano Taylor. I'm gonna make sure that the fans love me, the celebrity panel loves me, that they walk me through, and they want to be screaming silverback when they see me in the finals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Before we had even had this interview set up, the thing that made me really take notice of your name in particular being added to this Challenger Series was a video that they put out of Vitor Belfort, which I'm sure you're going to be asked about for a long time in your career, because to get a like the seal of approval from a guy like Vitor, man, that is a stamp right there.
Oh, that was that was major. It was like, God works in mysterious ways. And, I was, of course, I was, like you said, in the talks for getting into PFL. And like you said, it was a stamp of approval from Vitor that actually got me like, okay, Racef was calling me to get me into this Challenger Series. I was training my coach, Daniel Mendez, was helping him get ready for his boxing match before he got sick. He would have destroyed this guy. But I was over there helping him box, and he was just talking to me. He has so much wisdom in the sport. He's been in it so long. You know what I mean? He's been a champion. He's been he's knocked out other legends. He is a legend. And you just get so humbled to talk to someone like him. And for him to also say, you have a bright future, you have the charisma, you have the looks, you have the skills, you have talent, that makes you feel like, I'm in the right sport. For someone so legendary to say that to me, who also wants to become a legend, it's like all I have to do is just keep doing what I'm doing now. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it was a cool moment, man. Which I'm sure gives you a lot of confidence going forward. That you're like, okay,
sure.
There's people are taking notice. It ain't just the promotions you're fighting for, but I mean, legend, Vitor Belfort.
Legend.
Yeah,
it was awesome. It was such a humbling experience, and like praising God after, because it was like, wow, how does that, me going to go help gets me the stamp of approval to fight for a PFL. God works in mysterious ways. That's it.
There are many guys that have got 4 professional fights that are getting messages like that from former world champions. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Sure. Thank you so much for your time, man. All the best with the Challenger Series, and hopefully we'll be able to catch up with you some point down the line, and hopefully be talking about a regular season or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll
what part of London are you from?
I'm from a town that is really small that you won't know, but it's quite near Birmingham. You might have heard of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Like like Leon Edwards and all those guys. I live about 45 minutes from there, so.
Well, put your place. What is it called?
I'm from Gloucester. There's not a whole lot of there's some good fighters from there. But
all right, nice.
But there's not a whole lot else going on.
All right. Well, you're interviewing for PFL, so you're doing good, brother.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
No Appreciate worries, that. Man. Right. Yeah. Have a good rest of your day, man. Have a good Christmas, all that good stuff. And like I said,
happy holidays. Speak to you soon. Have a good one. Say it again.
I'll hopefully speak to you soon. So
yeah, for sure. Thank you again. All right.
No problem. Cheers, man.